let's start the podcast.
I could put you in the brig for what you've done, but I won't do it.
What the hell's going on out here?
Go ahead.
Okay.
3, 2, 1, ignition, and liftoff.
Ladies and gentlemen, they said it couldn't be done. And we're almost done. This is podcast 300.
Tonight, we dine in hell!
Of the Two Owls, One Pod podcast. We made it to 300. And you've been listening since the beginning, all 10 of you. And the other 5,000 come and go. But the point is this.
Mostly go.
Mostly go. We're very excited. I'm Al Ducharme, floating around in the Caribbean. And that is Al Romas in front of 300 balloons with the number 30 on them. How's it going, Al?
Social media intern really screwed up this time. I said, get me some 300 balloons. And he got me 300 balloons that say 30 on them. It's very disappointing. But that's what you get today. That's Gen X. They don't follow through.
Gen Z, buddy.
They don't want to work. Whatever it is. Is it Gen Z? I don't know. What are we? Boomers or some? What
we're
the
on
fuck
the cusp.
do we have?
Boomers and X. We're on the cusp.
All right. And what's okay? So what's a 20-year-old now? That's Z
I think that's Z.
or X?
But
Z.
correct us in the comments below.
Yeah,
If
we're
you know.
lost here. And but I'm on Icon. We're in Coco Cay today, which for me is a C day. You know what I mean?
So you're in or you're on. It's a private island that used to be a dumping ground, and Royal Caribbean purchased it, cleaned it all up. Beautiful sands, beautiful beaches. But prior to being a dump, after being a dump, it was used as another kind of dump, a cocaine and drug cartel dump. They would drop it off there, and then boats would pick it up and then take it to different places throughout the United States and the Bahamas. There you go, little piece of history. But now it's a viable vacation beach, lovely area. Royal Caribbean has put many, many, many millions of dollars into it, and they built a dock. Now you can have the big ships dock there, and that's where you are right now. So are you in Coco Cay, or are you on Coco Cay, or are you docked at Coco Cay and you're on board the ship?
I'm docked in my room with my 30-year balloons instead of 300. Yeah, and I'll stay on. And then tonight we have one show, 10:45, in the big theater. And then I go home tomorrow, buddy. Home. Yeah. Home. And a couple weeks at home. A couple of weeks to bug Kelly and annoy Teddy, and then I'll get out of their hair. And
yeah, I say by day 9, Kelly's going to be like, "When are you leaving? When are you leaving?"
I think that's generous. Day 9 is pretty generous, to be honest.
Well, my situation is the same. That's what I'm going by.
Yeah.
Bernie goes.
She would never admit it, but by about day 5, I think she's like, "Are you going to be leaving anytime soon?"
Bernie says, "When are you getting on the ship?" She says that.
Oh,
in the beginning, and then a few days later, she's like, "Get on the ship." I want my life back.
Well, if you're a comedian and you're married or you're with someone for a couple of years, whatever, the relationship, I mean, and I've had people argue it, but it's based on you leaving. That's the relationship. That's how it works. It's based on that. And if you're home too long, everything gets askew because that's not the relationship. The relationship, you come in, you have a fun time, and then you hit the road and get out of there. And if it's too extended, I think the other person's like, "Well, what's going on here? My life, it's not normal. Get out. You have to go.
Well,
but it works. I mean,
but my argument is the longevity of my relationship and my marriage. We feel that when we're home, it can be 24/7. And that's
yeah,
why
exactly. Well, you're
we're
both
half
comics,
joking.
so-
We're half joking about
Right.
day 9. When are you leaving? But
We're not joking. I think it's real.
it's a 24/7 situation, and
Yeah.
the other person gets into their habits when they're alone. And
Right.
then when you come home, you throw a wrench into it, and then each person has to make an adjustment, and that can cause a little friction sometimes. But
Right.
also,
Like, how long have you been married? How many years?
we believe it or not, 20 years, just a couple of weeks
20.
ago,
But if you did the math, you're probably together
11,
10
12 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, 11, 12 years.
So it's still relatively fresh, and that's a good thing, I think. Some people
in this
some people
case,
are
it has
built for
worked.
9 to 5, walk in the door every night, but comics, we're not. We're just, can you imagine that, just walking in the door every night at 5 o'clock and, hi, honey, what's for dinner? You'd put a gun in your mouth in 2 weeks.
Well, but then there's also the people that have been married 5 and 6 times. What's going on there?
Yeah, I don't. Well, look at Dave Grohl. What's going on there?
Oh, don't.
Why does he want to do that? Give away. What do you want to give away half your money? And what are you doing? What are you doing, dude? That was ugly.
Ordinary
that was ugly.
hero.
An Instagram post.
My ordinary hero. Well, because he knew that the tabloids were going to run with it, so he wanted to get out ahead of it.
And then there's now a New York Post was running wild with it this morning, and he's a serial cheater. A million women are coming forward.
He's a rock and roll star. He's 56, 57 years old.
But didn't he kind of play up the married? I love the wife, the kids. I'm the man.
Yeah. Here's the thing I want to know.
Yeah.
Was it somebody that works for him, or was it a sycophant? Was it some little roadie girl? And how are you having unprotected sex? Number one, I don't know. Maybe he was wearing a condom and it broke. How are you allowing yourself to impregnate both people, not just him?
Yeah.
I don't know the circumstances. Maybe it's someone that's been on his staff for years and they fell in love. I don't know. But if it was a one night stand, or you're going to be my road pussy, but come on, to be a rock and roll star for 4 decades and be faithful to your wife is
it's not realistic, and that's fine. But don't play up the image. I don't like the hypocrisy of all these people.
Yes.
I'm on the road, I'm a rock star, but I got the kids and the wife, and life is very normal. And you go, okay, and now you find this out, and you go, well, that makes sense. I get it, but he could have just play it down a little bit, and nobody would care. But it's funny how he became so because he Nirvana, and then Foo Fighters they're big, they're a huge band, obviously, but not one where everyone knows them. And yet he's become like this celebrity. You know what I mean? Like, he rose out of this band where he's like on the Tonight Show by himself.
Yeah, he's bigger than
as a
the
guest.
band.
Which is strange. Like, you don't see that a lot.
Well, let's give a little background if you're not familiar. People have heard of the Foo Fighters, and people have heard of Dave Grohl. Sometimes they don't know, oh, he was with the band. They know he's a rock and roll guy. And some people I keep hearing his name, but I have no idea who he is. And then there's, a billion people that know exactly who he is. But he went from the drummer on Nirvana with their, what was it, their 3 big albums they had there before Kurt Cobain offed himself with a shotgun. And
did he?
Well, it's a conspiracy, I don't know. I don't know.
Courtney Love, huh? What?
Come on.
That's what I hear.
Honey, come here. Here, smoke this pipe. What?
I'll be like Trump. I don't know. It's what I heard. I heard Courtney Love killed him. I don't know. Could be wrong. I don't really know.
I want to talk about the pets eating. I want to talk about that.
They're being eaten, and
because there's a few of my friends jumped on it, and I'm like, because we'll get to
your
that.
Friends aren't bright. They're not very bright. Some of your friends.
Well, they're victim of propaganda. They're victim of it, and I
see them on your page, and I just
believe
go,
it. Sometimes you can't tell. I've doubted stuff I have doubted stuff. I'm like, there's no fucking way that's true. And then all of a sudden, 6 months later, I'm like, oh, it was based in truth. That's how they got there. Now I can see how it was exaggerated and how it
But
spun
why
out
do
of
these
control.
guys grab things that are so? Just do a little
I
research.
I
Just don't
I,
throw it
I
on your
witnessed
Facebook.
my friend. He put it on Facebook, and I'm like,
It's so
dude.
sad.
He said the Haitians are eating pets.
Oh,
Okay, first of all, homeless people are going to go to a park and whack
yeah.
a goose over the head and eat it. That's to survive. That's been happening. You're supposed to get a hunting license, and you can't hunt in certain areas.
I've
But
never
people that
heard
are
of a homeless person
people, whether
whacking a
they're
goose over
legally
the head and
documented,
eating it.
born and
I've
raised in
never
the
heard
United
of this.
States, this shit is going on. But they're not. Are they eating pets? I don't know. But here's the other thing about that. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
the video that my friend posted is of a woman of color, a black woman,
I know
and
the video, and I know the
people
person.
yelling at it. She's not an illegal Haitian
Nope.
immigrant. She's an American
Nope.
citizen. She's not from
That's right.
Springfield, Ohio. She's from
Nope.
Canton, Ohio. And she's crazy. And she has a track record of being arrested, and she's got mental illness. But they
Yep.
took that and said Haitian peoples are eating cats.
So
Now we
that's
don't
all
know.
they need.
We don't know if it was a cat, a roadkill.
No.
We don't know if it was a dead cat in the road and she was poking. We don't know. She's crazy. But
Don't know anything.
to take that and say, yeah, it has not been debunked. Here's the video. It's like,
Right.
I watched the video and already I'm like, this could be anything. This could be totally out of context. And then I do
Yep.
a little research. Well, where are you getting your research from? When I see 4 or 5 different news agencies posting something the same or similar, I draw the line. I go, okay, well, that seems to check out.
Right.
I'm not an expert. I'm just saying
You're not.
you can't just take. And this, by the way, that happened in August, beginning of
Dude,
July,
it's
July or
ridiculous.
August.
Yes.
Yeah.
And even their leader, their Trump, they go, well, and he goes, I saw it on the news. Like he's like that classic moron who just goes, well, I saw it on the news.
Here's what I
Gotta
don't
be right.
understand about Trump. He's very much in the moment. That's why he wings it at the debates and the speeches. That's why he looks so natural when he's talking and he's captive. He's captivating. Let's be honest now. I find him in a stand-up comedy perspective. He's got comic timing.
Yeah,
he does.
He was
In
better-
2016, 2015, I'm
but
like, this guy's
I feel like
funny.
he's showing the age now. Like
He
was
is.
4 years ago, he was funny. He was loose on stage. He's not that guy.
The little bit of the. Here's what's happening. I thought by him saying they're eating the pets, they're eating your pets, they're killing you. I thought the people that you're playing that to are already voting for you.
Yeah.
Why are
Well,
you
that's
going
the debate too, though.
why are
Nobody
you
tuned
going
into
that-
that debate. Had
Why
their
are you going
mind
that
changed.
low?
But why do we even have these? I mean, really, no one's going.
I think
You know what?
I think some
I'm
people
with
on the
her.
fence. I think some people on the fence.
Not
One
many.
way or the other.
How can you be on the fence with these two? I mean, really, there's no common ground. You got to go. It's one or the other. You know, what's on the fence? We go. Well, I'm almost going for her, but I kind of like him. I mean, they're two opposite ends.
It's fear based on both sides. Some people think the economy is going to tank either way. By the way, the economy is cyclical. It tanks. It recovers. We
We've
usually
been
come
through
out
it,
stronger,
folks.
but we got to go through the pain. You got to rip off the Band-Aid. If you're lucky and time it right, you can prepare and weather it. If you're financially well off and you're not greedy, you'll be fine. It doesn't even affect you. It creates opportunities. But look at me. I sound like a fucking professor.
What's happening here? I don't know what's happening here. Got to be honest. I think I'm on the wrong podcast.
Because we're idiots,
Zoom,
and most of the people that listen to this know that we're just, it's
yeah.
we just express our
Did
feelings.
you work or did you see the debate? Were you doing shows?
I had 3 shows, but I went. I caught some of it in between my shows because I had like 90 minutes in between my shows.
Ugh.
An hour and
That's
15
the worst.
minutes.
That's the worst, isn't
But
it?
I went on YouTube and watched.
But
what I
isn't that
missed.
the worst? The time in between. That's the worst to me.
Yeah.
And I think I've said it here before. That's what's keeping me out of comedy clubs. That in my act, of course. But just the idea of waiting, that in between, that downtime, I can't do it anymore. The hour and a half in the green room or at the bar. Nope. I don't
If
want to
the
do it.
if the hotel is not close enough, it sucks. If the comedy club is in a hotel, you just come down an elevator.
Those
That
are
can be
rare. Doesn't seem. I haven't
no.
seen one of those in
I don't
years.
work the casinos that much anymore. I haven't been
I
in
don't
a
either.
casino since we were together in Vegas.
Yeah.
What was that, 2.5 years ago?
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. And it's almost. They haven't even dropped. The drop's gone. I saw
Yeah.
most of it's gone now, but the hotel towers are still standing. They haven't dropped them yet because
Well,
of
that's
the
because a Hollywood
asbestos.
filmmaker is making a movie. I think it's Michael Bay about the Twin Towers. So they're going to use them and going to dress them up to look like the Twin Towers in New
Oh,
York City.
well, that's.
They're gonna fly a drone into it, but the drone's going to look like a big 747.
Oh, I like it. Okay, I didn't know any of that, so that's interesting. And
See,
there you
things like
go.
this on the podcast where
Eh,
people could be gullible and listen to that and going, "Holy
good.
shit,
Well,
Michael
they're
Bay."
dopes. They're dopes.
Well, this
Yeah.
is the reason for this conversation is the Haitians are eating pets, and
That's true.
what we got to do is we got to go into Haiti and fix
Mm-hmm.
it up so they will stop
Labadee.
coming. We got to go to
We call
Labadee.
it Labadee here in
Labadee.
Cruise Land.
Yeah.
We don't refer to it as Haiti. Have a
No.
Labadee and don't look.
It's our
over there.
own private island resort. First of all,
Well, it was. It's closed. We're not going there anymore.
oh really?
Yeah, it's been closed for 6 months now.
Oh, I thought they reopened. No.
No. Haiti ain't safe. No, even Labadee's in flux. So no, it's been closed for at least 6 months.
I was.
Yeah.
Wow, you have your finger on the pulse. I had no idea.
I have my finger on my.
That's why we haven't been
sorry.
going.
Yeah. No labradoozles. Hey, when I flew last week, I had to leave Bermuda. What was the last time you left Bermuda dockyard?
Last year. It's
That is
year and a half
boy,
ago.
that is some trekking there. That is because I had to get off the boat. I had to get off the boat at like 10 a.m. Had to be off. Customs, all that shit. So then you walk with your bag, around the dockyard. You're pulling your bag like, Willie Loman. And then I get to there's a tender or ferry,
Love
and I go, what time's
tender?
the next ferry? They go noon.
It was a ferry. His
It's
name
10
was
o'clock.
Bruce. Thank you very much. We canceled.
I know. It's 10 o'clock. The ferry's at noon. So I'm like, okay. So I go, is there anything, anywhere to eat, get some coffee or anything? They go, yeah, that place over there. It's one of the, it's like the pub, you probably have seen it. And I go over there. They open 11:30. So I got an hour and a half. I'm sitting on a bench in the sun in Bermuda. That's when you question everything, man. And I'm sitting there just going, what the fuck? And then they finally open. 11:30 comes. They open. I go, okay, get a coffee. Guy's like, yeah. I go, do you have any breakfast at all? Anything like that? He goes, no, just, lunch, seafood. I go, not even some toast. He goes, I have toast. Okay. I go, okay, I'll take some toast. That would be good.
$29.
So I get coffee. Well, I get coffee, and the guy brings a garlic loaf like I'm having Italian dinner for $9. A garlic, it's this big. It's
Because he's going to charge you $15. That's why.
That was $14, and the coffee was $9. A cup that you're holding was $9.
Bermuda is the most expensive place. It's unnecessary. It's unnecessary.
$23.
They are flourishing with cruise ships and vacationers, and a lot of wealthy people buy homes there. They pay into the government. They are killing it, and yet they're using the false inflation. By the way, the false inflation. Inflation is 2.9 to 2.7% right now. Governments like to have it at 2%, but from the highs of whatever it was for a couple of months, it was like 14, and then it dropped down to like 9, 8, which is still very high. It's the opportunists. It's an election year, so companies are fucking killing it. There's companies that are just, their profits are insane, and they're saying, "Oh no, we got to pass that on to the customer because we're feeling it." Too. It's like the grocery store chains had made record profits, from what I understand. Fact check that for me, please. Let's move on.
Okay. So anyway, I get on the ferry, and I take that over to Hamilton. and then you got to get in a cab.
Huge
and
hit on Broadway.
Finally get the cab, and the guy goes, I go, do you take cards? He goes, no. I go, great. I don't have any cash. Okay, we'll go to an ATM. Fine. Pull out Bermuda money.
How much?
Well, the cab was 40. Cab was 40. Would have been 120 from Dockyard. So that's why I took the ferry. So I get in the cab, have to take out $50 from the ATM, Bermuda money. That guy's 40 thing. Get to the airport. And then I got a 3-hour wait to my flight to Philly. Philly to Miami. Land at 9:30 p.m. in Miami. And then we were texting or the next day, because I went out for that hotel shuttle bullshit. I'm over that nonsense.
Uber,
Fuck them.
Uber Lyft.
Fuck them.
It's 5 minutes away. It's 10 minutes away. And then you sit there for 20. You call.
Yep.
Where is it? He'll be there in a few minutes. And it's a half hour, 40 minutes.
And it's 100 degrees. It's underneath
Canopy.
in Miami. It's bus fumes. Just breathing it in, and they're not coming. They're not coming. Then I hit Uber. The guy's there in 3 minutes. And,
but don't forget, who
$6.
Who was landing in Philadelphia at the same time that your flight was
trying to get off? Yeah, Sleepy Joe landed.
Sleepy Joe, the lame duck president, Air Force One, is flying. It's like no one wants to assassinate this guy anymore. No one knows there's an end game here.
We don't have a president, to be honest. No. I like how no one's questioning this either.
No, the same people are running it that were running it behind him.
Who are they? Who are these
people? The rumor is, fact check it if you want, is Obama and Clinton, Hillary, and all
Gates.
Yeah. Well, if you want to go that, yeah.
I'm going there.
If you want to go conspiracy, you can.
Dark
they say there's those think tanks and the people that control the psychology of what we're supposed to think.
Jews. Is that who you're saying?
No, that was the Germans manufacturing that.
All right. So then I fly.
There's a few Jews involved because there's a few Jews that will take out their own people to get ahead, just like anybody else.
Yeah. Okay.
Wasn't Hitler like his mother Jewish?
I don't know.
I think I proved my point. Fact check it, motherfucker.
Jesus, a lot of fact checking going on in this app. I get to the hotel in Miami, Courtyard Marriott Airport. I get there at 10:15. The guy goes, he's Spanish or Cuban or whatever, so you can't understand him. I'm exhausted, 14-hour travel. And he goes, we don't have a king bedroom available. I go, okay, 2 queens.
Two queens. You like 2 queens.
Yeah.
I like you prefer to be
I am.
In a hotel room.
Well, hello.
That's queens. Right, with 2 queens.
I'm sorry. This is the gist of the podcast.
That's
2
my dream.
Dudes making off-color remarks about...
Right.
It's basically our homophobia, but go ahead.
Yes, your homophobia. I'm just admittingly homophobic. Okay. So I go, that's fine. Then he goes, I have king beds available, but first floor. I go, all right, that's fine. And I'm looking at the guy like, what? I go, is there something wrong with the first floor? Because he's like, oh, you want it? And I go, what's
noisy?
What's the... dude, it's 10:30 at night. I'm getting up and leaving the next morning.
I know, but is it carpeting? If it's tile, first floor with all the commotions. All right. Was it down the hall or was it right next to the
all the way down the hall, the last room?
Then that's a no-brainer. Take it.
So I said, but I'm like confused by it. Like, why? So I go, is there a door leading out, like to the courtyard or something? Right. And he goes, no. I go, then that's fine. I go, why are we doing this right now? You know what I mean? Like, I'm here. Give me the key. Let me go. I don't need this. Well, I got one on the first floor. I'm like, I'm not buying a car. It's just a room for 12 hours.
Here's what happened here.
Give me a key.
You actually got the good check-in clerk because these are all the questions I ask because they go, okay, we have a room for you, and they hand it to me. I'm like,
but you have ADD, Ducharme disease. So
I do.
Nothing's easy.
Well known.
You can't just check in.
I'm on the board of many New England Medical Journal.
I'm on the board of people being bored during a podcast.
I'm on the border of being bored by this podcast with you and your fact checking, Ducharme.
Holy shit! Please give me the history of everything we talk about again. Well, here's the reason for inflation. Oh, fuck me.
Well, I don't
Just
know
want to tell
that.
a travel story.
There's several
Jerk off.
reasons.
Yeah.
I sound authoritative, but then I can't back it up. So
No.
but that's
Well,
look at my
that's
comedy
our-
act.
And that's
I
that
look
was
like
the
I know
debate.
what I'm
mean,
doing, but I'm fucking winging it. I'm like Trump out there, no teleprompter. Wow.
Well, that's it. That's kind of everybody. I mean, look at all these. Like, I remember, I forget his name, but some famous comic used to leave the stage every night, like a standing ovation. Then be like, fooled him again, and he meant it. Like, he just, because everyone's got that whatever that imposter syndrome. If you're a kind of a performer, and if you don't, then you're just an egomaniac douchebag, who believes it all. But I think most of us are just like, I don't know what I'm doing. I have no idea. At this point, we should be.
Well, you and I, we're like
skilled,
Betsy
but we
Ross.
don't.
We're skilled
I'm sorry.
at threading the needle. We're like
Betsy
Betsy
Ross.
Ross. Yeah. We
Who's Betsy? Oh, she made the flag.
well,
Betsy
we
Ross?
say she did. We all know it was a black woman in the back room. But the point is,
Then they took her teeth.
Elvis.
I still can't get over George
Elvis is
Washington.
amazing. That style of
George-
music and those lyrics.
But did we talk about this? George Washington didn't have wooden teeth that we were all taught as kids.
I think I remember
He
reading that these falsehoods or something. Yeah, they
Yeah,
didn't
they
have
were-
wooden teeth.
They're not wooden; they were slaves' teeth. That's what they did in the day.
Oh, I didn't hear that one.
Hey Al, your teeth aren't looking good. Let me pull old Nathan's teeth here, and I'll put them in your mouth. They'll look good.
Wait a minute.
That's what
They,
they would
they
do.
didn't take it from dead people?
That's what I read. That maybe dead slaves, possibly dead slaves, but they were slaves. He had slaves' teeth in his mouth.
So they would just go like, Kunta, come here for a second.
Yeah.
Yes, boss.
Yes,
I
your
want you
spikes
to-
are looking nice and shiny.
Yeah, I want you to why don't you just sit down? You've been out there working pretty hard. Why don't you just sit down? Here's some whiskey.
Well,
Oh,
think
you're
that
being very.
happened much.
This is very nice, master. This is very nice. Yeah, just relax and
Yeah, you've been working hard. I'd like you to sit down and now open your mouth and
that is
say,
horrendous. I mean,
Yeah, it's horrendous, all right. But I like
Well,
when we're
pulling-
kids how we're taught.
pulling teeth out for gold too. Yeah,
Yeah.
various countries.
Remember Norm had a joke about that with how George Washington chopped down the cherry tree, but then his father came home and he goes, I cannot tell a lie. It was me. And he's like, like the kid is the creepiest kid. Imagine walking in your house, like your kid's holding a fucking axe. I cannot tell a lie. It was me. Jesus Christ. Tell a lie already. What's wrong with you? You're scaring me.
Those are all fables. That's all made up.
I cannot tell a lie.
The guy was a high achiever. He was a general. You don't have to make up. Just don't bring up the raping.
Well, they're they gotta have their
You gotta have
side
heroes.
projects.
We have to have, yeah.
But
Well, it wasn't
yeah, I
called
mean,
raping.
think about
it wasn't
him, though.
called
He could
raping
have
back
been-
then. You know that, right? It was called
What was it
taking.
called?
Taking.
Taking?
Yeah, I'm a general. I get to take it.
Oh. Well, it's pillaging, right? Isn't that the same?
Pillaging. Yeah.
Pillaging, rape. Because I think someone mentioned this. I don't know. I heard this somewhere, but pirates, they say raping and pillaging, but it's the same thing.
That's why they
Isn't
made that
pillaging
movie.
raping?
Taken. I have a unique set of skills.
What does that have to do with pirates?
Raping. I will find
Oh,
you and I
raping.
will rape you.
Oh. Okay. Well,
Dude,
he's gonna
I'm
be a naked
obscure.
then, and I'm not happy about it.
And they're going to say, oh, they're making jokes about rape. No.
Good.
We
Yes,
are
we
mentioning
are.
things that are
I am.
factual, and some of them are horrendous and heinous. And we bring a little levity
Heinous.
to it so that we can actually talk about these things.
That's Al Ducharme. I'm just joking about rape myself. I'm not
Let's
shining a
go
mirror to it.
the videotape.
Hey now. Hey, when I went through security at the port of Miami this last week, this arm here that you can see, this podcast arm got flagged.
Oh, because it's
And
holding the microphone. Yeah. What did they say?
it's been coming on. It's been here with me since, January minimum. And so this, this girl who's now, she's wearing a port security t-shirt and thinks she's in charge. She goes, "What is that? I have to open your bag." I go,
Mhm.
"It's a podcast arm. It's, just a metal thing." So she's like, "Okay, why do you have that?" And I go, "Well, I do a podcast." I mean, I don't know how to explain that to you any clearer. I go, "I do a podcast. That's how I have a podcast."
She was on the
arm."
script. She was on the script.
So I go, "That's why I have it." And then she goes, "Oh, are you a contractor?" And I'm like, "What's the difference? I mean, what do you
It
care?"
has nothing to do with it.
No. So I go, "Yeah," I go, "I'm guest entertainer. I'm trying to move this along. Guest entertainer." And she goes, "Okay, let me see your email."
Oh, are you shitting
I go,
me?
"What? This is in Miami. This is in Miami."
Oh
And
my God.
I've already been to the peer coordinator. So I have my card. So now I'm like, "What do you
This
want?"
is this is
Because
out
I'm
of
now
their jurisdiction, him or her.
her. But
This is out
I'm
of
so in the
her,
right here that
she,
I want to have a
them.
little fun with it.
Oh,
Excuse me?
now you're annoyed, so you want to have fun. Yeah. All right, go ahead.
Right. So I go, "Why would you need an email?" And then she's like, "Sir, I need to see that you have an email to work on the ship." And I go, "Why would you do that?" I go, "I've been coming here since January. No one's ever asked anything." She goes, "Well, that's the way we do it." I go, "Is it? Is that the way you do it? Because I don't think it's the way you do it." And I go, "Can I talk to someone else?" And I'm being very polite. And she
Mhm.
goes, "You want a supervisor?" I go, "Sure." So supervisor comes over. And at that point, I take out my card that I already have.
Mhm.
And he goes, "What's the problem?" I go, "I don't think there's a problem. I'm being asked for an email, and I'm an entertainer, and there's no such email. And I already have my card." And I show it to him, and he goes, "Oh, go on the ship."
Yep.
I go, "Thank you." And she just looks at him and looks at me, and I just take my bag, go, "Thank you,"
She needs to be
and walk away.
retrained. She
It's
needs
like,
to
what
be
the fuck are
retrained.
you doing?
She went to
What
the
are you
fucking
doing?
morning meeting and
Mm-hmm.
got it flipped in her head. There's no reason for her to ask for. That's out of her jurisdiction. Seriously. That's peer
I agree.
coordinator.
Who
Dude,
I've already been to.
let me ask you, when you walk in
Mm-hmm.
to join a ship, you have to there's the first wave of security, which is not the x-ray machines, correct? Or a person from the cruise line. It could be someone in uniform, or it could be a person with a shirt that's a volunteer. It could be anybody. But I walk up with my passport. I go, hi, I have to I'm a contractor. I don't say entertainer. I say, "I'm a contractor. I'm on the guest manifest, and I have to see the peer coordinator." Or sometimes I go, "I'm supposed to go to the peer coordinator." And sometimes they go, "Oh, are you a contractor?" And I go, "Yes." They go, "Right this way."
Mm-hmm.
And they escort me. But for some reason, if you jumble the words or say it in the wrong order, somebody fucking, their head explodes. And then some of them feel like, all right, I got to make an executive decision here. And that was ridiculous.
Yeah.
This is at the x-ray.
This is at the X-ray. You're done. You did now take your bag and go on the ship, and now they're asking for emails. The thing is, in Miami, when you come up in Miami for Icon Terminal A, you just come up and I make a left, go to the peer coordinator, and then I get my card. Then I go through security. So it's very simple.
Right.
And but to ask me about an email,
No.
I wouldn't be there without showing enough documentation.
Where were they getting
We're
this
done.
from? Where did they pull that from? I've
never heard it in 9 months. That's why I was like, I'd like to talk to a supervisor. Let me talk to somebody, because I know the minute somebody who knows what they're talking about comes over, this is done.
But this is important for that supervisor to tell them, saying, "Hey, you don't need to ever see an email. If they make it here, all you got to do is make sure they don't have any weapons." That's a podcast microphone arm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Done. Okay, thank you. See this microphone I have right here? This is the one that I occasionally get stopped. If I put this in the airport, if I do carry-on and I put this in my carry-on, 1 in 3 times they're going to, we got to send your bag through again. What's in there? And I go, "A podcast microphone." Okay, open it up. And as soon as I unzip it, they go, "Okay, close it, put it through."
Yeah.
So I usually check it now. But when I'm getting on the ship, same thing. hey, we got to put your bag through again, blah, 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 blah. I explain that I got to unzip it. And there's passengers coming on and it's just,
Yeah.
and they go,
Yeah.
and sometimes they pick it up, look at it, and they go, this is a microphone?
Yeah.
Why? Does it
Well,
look like you know what it is? Since
they
the
know.
shooting,
Yeah.
shooting, I think there's been an uptick.
What shooting?
The Trump one that happened a month and a half ago.
Oh. Isn't it weird how that's kind of forgot? Like that was an assassination.
It is, but they've increased
the former
security
president.
everywhere, and I think that's why you got flagged with your arm. It's all related because it's
I don't know.
It's a broad
This
brush of
girl
like
was just
everybody's on
overstepping.
orange alert.
Yeah, this girl was just, I mean, too gung ho, crazy, ridiculous. Meanwhile, I have 2 torch lighters in the bag.
Yeah.
Completely missed those, but she's worried about a metal
She's
arm.
focused on, yeah. By the way, my new torch lighter that I have looks like a regular lighter. It's not one of the little disposable ones. It's a butane refiller. And
Let me see. Put it up to the camera.
I gotta get it in the bag. All right, no, I'm gonna do
Let
it.
me see it. I want to see what.
Well, I gotta take my earbuds out. I gotta put my mic
do it.
down. You're gonna talk about me. You're gonna insult me.
All right. I'm not gonna insult you. God, could he be more fucking boring with his long-winded diatribes of inflation and shit?
This is in my
Let's just move it
carry-on.
along. And let me see. Oh yeah. That's a good, yeah. But is it you light it? Let me. Oh, 2. You got 2. That's nice. Where'd you get that?
Pretty good, huh, buddy?
Where'd you get it?
That's a good one.
You got to put his
there?
earbuds in. No, he can't hear me.
Hello, come in, please. Over.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm still here. Still here.
All
Never
right,
left. There you go. Where'd you get that one? I like it.
Here's the thing. It came in a pair for like, I think it was under $25. I think it was between 20 and $24.
Where was the question?
Amazon, baby. I'll send you one as a gift for all your hard work.
Thank you. I like it because it has the 2, and usually that would just be a 1 torture and they go out. But
right. I mean, I prefer the 3, going. Which I have at home. Yeah. The 3 are amazing. But
3 are good.
This is the 2 jets right there.
Yeah. You see it? No, for that I like. Yeah, and that won't be spotted.
And no one's ever stopped me. I've had a couple.
This is 3.
Which one? Let me see it. Yeah, I have that one. I have a similar.
Yeah.
Oh, you got that thing. That looks like you were scuba diving with.
This thing. This one's good, but the problem with it is it eats the butane. So
3 has 3 jets. These last.
I mean,
these last a while. Yeah. This is
you don't smoke either, so
I don't smoke as much as you.
You have 1 cigar a month. I mean, that thing's going to last you a while.
You have 1 an hour.
That would be a perfect world. Yeah, that would be I would love that. I don't know if I can do 1 an hour, but
I have the old man acid reflux thing too. So when that starts acting up, I got to chill for a few days. You know,
I've heard that. I've heard the cigars are bad for the reflux.
The first time I had an issue because I take the Nexium daily, but sometimes I'll skip a month or 2 of the Nexium and then everything's fine, and then I'll have the cigar and I'm like, it kind of inflames the esophagus. Yeah.
Do you take supplements? Do you take anything?
Yeah, my doctor doesn't believe in them. He thinks you should get them from foods, but he's a little extreme. I take an allergy pill intermittently, just generic allergy pill, and sometimes I break them in half. If I have a couple of sea days, I don't take them. But if I go to some tropical island where there's lots of foliage, I'll definitely take one, a preemptive one. I take.
Well, what about like supplements? You take vitamins? You do?
Not too many. I take flax, which is, these right here. This helps move things along and helps lower your cholesterol. Keep that in check naturally.
What about fish oil? Do any fish oil?
I intermittently do it. I did it for years, but that also has a natural built-in antihistamine. So if you do fish oil, you may not have to take allergy pills, but my allergies are advanced now. So I go all the way. Also,
Advanced allergies.
yeah, advanced allergies. I'm on the low dose 81 milligrams of aspirin.
That's good for the old heart.
Yeah, that's good. And
Supposed
then
to be.
I take I
Holy
take the
shit! I was just
finasteride.
asking. I didn't know you
I
got
take the
bring a fucking
finasteride.
drugstore with
I
you.
take the
God damn.
finasteride for the
What?
to shrink the
Finasteride.
prostate. Yeah,
Oh, gee, your
finasteride.
prostate needs. Oh, God.
But
Oh.
also because my hair was thinning, it arrested that, and it's kind of so that's
It
a
arrested your
benefit.
hair.
And my hair was breaking the
Your hair
law.
loss was arrested.
My thinning hair has been arrested.
Breaking the law. Breaking the law.
So,
Uh,
so my doctor
oh,
said,
that's a
all
good.
right, we can take you out. He said your prostate shrunk, so we could take you off the finasteride.
Was that a surprise side effect, or is that known?
Yeah,
That
it was one of the
hair,
surprise ones, like propecia.
yeah,
You know, it was like
gives you a hard on. I think is that the one?
no,
Propecia.
that's also for which one's propecia? Yeah, what that was
Isn't
all that stuff.
Viagra was they were to
si-
grow hair.
Yeah,
Yeah, and then went,
yeah,
holy
that was a
God,
side
these guys
effect.
are
That's a
excited.
good.
I know.
Yeah. Now I do have a 1970s porn afro south of my belt buckle. That's the
Okay. In lieu of
so
nothing, I just
I
want to
had to
get
buy
that
a
out
weed
there.
whacker. I had to buy one of the Black and Decker, a cordless weed
Oh,
whacker, and I use that daily.
you know, it's ironic. Here's an irony. I was looking at the From the Vault podcast for Friday, which today we're recording. Today's From the Vault podcast. We discuss manscaping and weed whacking. So a year ago, whenever roughly today, we were talking about this again because I had been to John Consoli's house for his the wedding, and he was discussing. He's got a whole setup. He's got it, and it's called the Groundskeeper. The manscaping machine he's got. It's called the Groundskeeper.
The groundskeeper.
which Alfred may need for Christmas. Yeah,
I'm to chainsaws now.
and he had ball wipes. He had ball wipes, and we talked about all that. So that because I listened to about a minute.
That was episode 200, wasn't it? 100.
Yeah. So a year later, we're still talking about.
I'm gonna say it's I'm gonna say almost 2 years.
Probably is two. We did 2. Yeah. Well, you do 52 weeks a year, and we did one ep 52 weeks.
It's 104.
Then
104 episodes. 104 episodes would take 2 years. Because we do one live a week and then we play an old one on Friday.
Right.
So
we're doing 300.
We're releasing
today.
2 a week, but we only record once a week.
So it'll be another year. It'll take a full year to get to 400, or will take 2 years.
2 years. Just shy of
2 years to get to 400.
Yeah.
Probably not going to happen.
Well, when we first started, we were doing it twice a week.
Hey, now we were. It sounds like me and Kelly. Now
we were doing we were doing 10 and 20
twice
minutes
a week, baby. Now it's fizzling out. I guess that's what happens.
In the beginning,
like
it was
odds are the same as sex. You have a lot, then you go slow down a little bit.
Slow down a little bit.
Whatever. Okay.
Let's rebroadcast an old
2
episode.
years to we could be. Goddamn, we'll be old men, man. 2 years from now, number 400. Jesus.
Well, we could go to twice a week and do it in 1 year.
No, that's all right. Let's just hope we make it. We'll see what happens.
This is a big one, though. 300.
300. I remember when we hit 100. That seemed like, quite an accomplishment.
That's right after we had Bill Burr. Bill Burr was 2 episodes, 98, 99, I think.
Wow.
And we were trying to get
Pandemic.
Bill to do 300, but his schedule wouldn't allow it to line up. So we brought him in prematurely.
Hey, now. Hey, tell me what you think of this before we wrap this up. What do you take of this? I'm having a cigar the other day, normal, and a woman sits next to me, and then she goes, "Are you the comedian?" And I go, "Oh, excuse me." She goes, "Are you the comedian?" I go, "Yes."
Oh, you pull your earbud out, right?
Pull my earbud out to listen, because I'm not being rude. I'm like, "Oh, I think we're gonna have a little conversation." She goes, "Oh," and then she turns her head and smokes her cigarette. Never says a word.
Really?
What do you? That's you. What do you get out of that? What are you thinking?
I think she might be a little socially inept. And then a thought came upon her saying, "Oh, that's the comedian." So she was fact checking. She's like, or you said something or you insulted her during your show. Did you pick on the crowd?
Well, not really. I didn't pick on him, no, but I just took it as she didn't really like me and noticed me and thought, I'm just going to check if it's him. But I'm not saying anything to him after that because it was very, that's where you go, oh, good show. That's all you have to say, or not anything. But no one goes, are you the comedian? You go, yes. And then they turn their head and smoke a cigarette. It's like, what the fuck? Give me something. I'd rather you go, I didn't care for it. Give me something, though. Because now I'm sitting in my own head going, well, this woman hates me. What the fuck happened?
I'm expecting a compliment.
Goddamn right. Yeah.
I mean, if they're initiating, then you got to say, oh, we really enjoyed it. Or saying, oh, I thought, or oh, I thought it was you.
Right.
Something,
Why would you
a follow-up line. Oh, I thought it was you.
Right.
But
why ask me if you have nothing after that? You have nothing to say.
I don't understand people's behaviors when it comes to that. I think I told this story before. There was 5 women. They were all wearing the same T-shirts. They were celebrating some big thing and family thing. And we all get on the elevator and they're like, oh shit, you're the comedian. So I have it's nice, but it's weird because you're in the enclosed space and they're very complimentary. We had so much fun. This is so-and-so. You made fun of her and we were all laughing. Right. And then there's like an 85-year-old woman with a cane at the door. And she turns around and she goes, you're the comedian? I go, yes, I'm enjoying this moment, Yeah. And she goes, you are disgusting. And the door opens up and she walks off. And these women start howling. So now this woman, the 85-year-old woman who's got 10 minutes left of her life with a cane, and she's struggling. She's leaving with all these women laughing at what she killed. She killed.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And she was right.
And she walked off, and I am disgusting. But isn't that funny how one person can
also
find you disgusting and then other people think you're the best thing that's happened to them?
But also, I've seen your act. What is this? I would never get disgusting out of your act. Like, there's nothing disgusting.
I did say, I said, how old are you, ma'am? She said, I'm 85. I go, so you have a really smelly.
Oh, well, is that disgusting? No, I mean, it's a
I just made an edit. I have to now. I really do have to edit that one out. I'm taking.
Why? Why?
See, you want me to look bad. You want me to look bad.
I want to keep it funny. I just rather keep it funny.
But we could lose listeners.
We could lose. True that. Anyway.
Hey, do you know who we lost recently?
I'm sorry.
Do you know who we lost as a supporter for over 4 years?
I do.
Mm-hmm. And I don't blame him. I don't think he's really listening anymore. Do you know his name?
Paul Francis Riley.
We lost Paul. He was my college roommate.
He was a good Patreon member. He put in his. He gave us some dough. I have no qualms of he
definitely bought us some microphones.
Yeah. I mean, it's that one was fine. He was a higher tier guy to start, and he stayed with it for 4 years. And
it's so funny.
Who knows?
Every time the year came up to renew and whatnot, I would say, should I reach out to Paul and say, hey, Paul, if you want to reduce your membership, you know, $5 a month or something like that, or you want to bail,
Yeah, well, he bailed. He bailed.
he did bail.
But that's the thing too. When you do thank you, Paul. Yeah, when you do a pod every week for 4 years, I mean, you get listeners, then they fade off, and you get new people. They come in, fade off. I mean, I'm not gonna have anyone for 4.5 years. I've listened to podcasts, and then I realized I haven't listened to that thing in 8 months.
Yeah,
it's just organic. So have no qualms about a guy who supported us for 4 years.
And he can still listen for free. The audio version is for everybody. Yeah. And the video version is for our supporting members who we thank. each and
And
every month.
the clips are what people talk about.
Right. The clips from the video, but that also pulls in more listeners. So
Yeah.
it pulls
And
in
it
more
does well on
listeners, not
TikTok.
necessarily
It does.
more members.
We get a lot of views on TikTok, and because they just come up on people's feed all night. You can just they're quick, so it's good. It's good, but
Yeah,
yeah.
we get most
Thanks,
views on
Paul.
TikTok. But here's the thing. When
Mhm.
you share the TikTok video on Facebook, and
Share
then I
TikTok
share
on
it,
Facebook.
and you tag me, and then I
Uh-huh.
allow it on my timeline,
Hmm.
we don't get a lot of traffic. When I upload it organically, native onto Facebook, they recognize it and they put it in the algorithm, and it gets more traction. It's just so
Oh,
annoying. It's so annoying
yeah,
that Facebook controls that.
yeah,
They don't
yeah.
want TikTok getting credit. That's why they don't want YouTube getting credit. We used to post everything from YouTube, and then we weren't getting the count. We weren't getting the views. They were hiding all that
Right.
because Mark
Yeah, yeah.
Zuckerberg has $177 billion, and he wants control over that.
Wouldn't you?
Yeah,
Yeah, man. I
he built a
would.
bunker. Or he's building a $250 million
Where did you hear
bunker.
this? Where is this? Is this from Trump? Did he say that? Did Trump
Yeah,
go?
he said that they're
I
cooking
heard
cats
he's.
underground, and they're going to be serving them to the zombies
You
in
gotta
the
love the
apocalypse.
internet, man. The minute he said that,
Mm.
like within 20 minutes, there was videos of
Yeah,
Trump singing
sketches.
and sketches. It's unbelievable, and the
Yeah.
songs are pretty good. People just throw it right into a garage band, and it's hilarious. I mean, people are pretty amazingly inventive.
Yeah, someone put it was
when they
very
want to be.
funny. They put like a dash hound, or what do you call it? A chihuahua maybe. They had a big bun, hot dog bun, and they put the dog in it. And
Dachshund.
put a Dotson. Yeah, and they put fake mustard on its
Dachshund.
back.
Dachshund's a car. Dachshund
Dachshund.
is the dog. You said Dachshund.
Dachshund.
Remember the Datsun B210? The car.
My girlfriend in college had the B210. It was orange. And it was like a sporty little ugly car.
Yeah, yeah. It was. They were making those. There was another one too at that time. I forget where it was. We're trying to make little sport cars for people with no money. So here's a B210.
But it was Japanese manufactured in the United States, and it had the shoulder harness seatbelt, and she rear-ended somebody, wasn't wearing a seatbelt, and then split her lip on the steering wheel. It's like, what the fuck do you think the seatbelt is for?
Right.
So then she had to have like
the story
7 stitches in her bottom lip.
I had always heard you.
And the oral sex wasn't the same anymore.
I heard you'd given her the little backhand, and then you guys concocted the steering wheel story. So that's interesting because I remember back in that time.
We're going to go to commercial break.
The rumor in New York was out. Al smacked her around pretty good, and now they're going with some seatbelt bullshit steering wheel.
Hey, some chicks like that stuff.
I had respect for you. I was like, good for him. He's a good man. He's keep a little wall therapy. I like.
See, now what's going to happen is
now what? Now
someone's going to grab this clip and put it on Facebook and say he hits women.
That's right. That's right. Yes.
Oh my God.
Good.
Come on now.
It's all good, man. It's all good. It's all good. All right. Well, I think we 300. We did it. Congratulations to us. It's quite an accomplishment. As we've known and stated, plenty of our contemporaries have started podcasts.
10 episodes tops.
They just don't do it. You can't do it. Can't do it. Can't meet up weekly somehow.
Yeah, only like less than 5% make it to 50 episodes. I think it's like 2%. Yeah.
Yeah. And a lot of fanfare with these guys too. A lot of, we're going to be doing this. We're going to be doing this. And then you kind of know going, all right, that'd be cool. Let's see. And then they vanish.
It is funny because a lot of them, hey, will you be on it? Will you be on it? Will you be on it? I'm like, yeah, I'll be on it. And I go on, when I can.
Sure.
And then that's the end of it.
They're gone. I always know when I'm a guest, that's pretty much the end. So it's like, oh yeah, you're going to wrap this up next week.
This thing's going right in the toilet. Sure, I'll be here for the The ending for the
Yeah,
end.
yeah, yeah. Then you get you guys still doing that podcast? Go, yeah.
Hey,
They go,
good
"Oh,
for
that's
you for
great, man. That's
trying.
great.
It's,
That's great.
we have a
Yeah.
rhythm. We're in a rhythm now. And,
We have
but
a rhythm, baby.
to get to this point where we've consolidated it, because I always bitch and moan about how long it takes and whatnot. But and also
15 hours.
logistics. The technology has gotten so much better.
It's gotten better.
Look at these little microphones we have. These used to be these big bulbous, this technology to get this sound
and the
quality
Wi-Fi on the ships a couple
is
of years
improved.
ago,
Well,
we were
Starlink,
constantly
Elon Musk,
freezing. Yeah,
as much
but we
as
were
you hate
always
him,
frozen.
folks, can't deny.
Starlink's the shit. Cruise Wi-Fi for years was a joke. It was terrible, and you couldn't do anything with it. And we have early from the vault episodes were frozen half the time, and it would take an hour to start. We couldn't even get through to each other. And now this
It
is
still happens,
as
but
clear as being home.
You're at sea, right? I'm at sea.
That was weird. Just
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
No, I'm in Coco Cay.
All right. Well, I'm at sea, so it's
Out
funny.
of
We're talking about it
Galveston?
freezing, and it just froze for like a half a second.
It just froze as we.
as you were raising your arm, saying, and it's
I know it's like.
but for the most part, to be, have that
to be.
distance between us, because
Yeah.
I was just, I was in Cozumel last night. We set sail, of course. Oh, we've had a few alpha on board, which means someone's ill. So we got about 45 minutes out, and the captain came on and said, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have to return to Cozumel. We have a medical emergency that we're unable to handle ourselves on board, so we're going to get them the proper care they need.
That means the captain forgot to buy Viagra.
That's what that means.
Yeah.
And that's our podcast.
See you. Peace.
All hands on deck.
So long, man. Have a good trip.
Iceberg, dead ahead. Don't forget to review us and rate us. It really helps.
The Talking Dicks became friends at a very young age, and the rest is history.
I'm losing my mind.
Patreon.com/The2Dicks, which is named after our web series.
This is the Two Owls, One Pod podcast.
Thanks for tuning in.
Done.
I didn't kill my wife. I don't care.
We'll fix it in post, you son of a bitch.
Ah, the French.
All right.
Okay, sure.
All right. Subscribe. Mary. This was a horrible mistake.
Patreon.com/forward-the-2dicks.
If you shoot me, you won't see a cent of that money. Why?
I think it ends on that. That's beautiful.